Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday afternoon. A very happy one for most people watching this video because, as of about 15 minutes ago, as of this recording, the Seattle Seahawks have moved to 4-0, beating the Miami Dolphins by a score of 31-23. And how did we get there? How did we do it? What happened out there on the field today? It's actually kind of hard to really process and talk about because both sides of the ball today, all three, if you want to really break it down, all three sides of the ball did some things that I really liked, but they also left me wanting in a few areas, and that's why at the end of the day, Miami was a couple of plays away from maybe forcing overtime. So it wasn't easy. It looked like it was going to be easy at first. We got the quick turnover, turned it into 7, got the ball back. We were moving down the field. It looked like it could be the game we were all dreaming of. It looked like it could be the game where everything just goes right and we have the game wrapped up in the third quarter, but didn't happen. And as for why that didn't happen, there are a few reasons. I'm going to start with this defense because it wasn't perfect, but I do want to say that was probably the best game the defense has played all season. Did we give up some big third downs? Absolutely. Did we give up some very soft completions? My God, yes. Did we let Fitzpatrick style on us on a couple of those runs? Sure. Was the tackling a little sloppy on a couple plays? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, this team, this defense was able to get off the field on crucial third downs in scoring position and force Miami to kick field goals all game long. They did not get into the end zone until the game was basically a 99 point something percent chance of going Seattle's way. The Miami Dolphins had to settle for field goals all game long, so we saw a bend but do not break defense today. And after seeing a bend then break defense the last 2 weeks, resulting in a lot of touchdowns for the Cowboys and Patriots, I was encouraged by that. I think we did an okay job on the pass rush. We got some pressure on Fitzpatrick, only 1 sack, but I think pressure forced him into making those 2 turnovers he did, and both those turnovers were huge for us in this game. I think that the pressure assisted in him throwing a lot of his incomplete passes. Remember, KJ Wright could have easily had 3 interceptions in this game. He let 3 passes bounce off his hands, and I'll get to KJ in a second. I know he's not a receiver, but goddamn, can you bring in one of those? But I think the pressure on Fitzpatrick, which I'm not going to say it was great, but it was pretty good, and I think it forced a lot of Fitzpatrick's bad throws. The run defense got a little sloppy later in the game, especially on the Fitzpatrick runs. I think the defense got worn out because we were losing time of possession, but the run defense was mostly fine. The Dolphins were never really able to control this game on the ground, so I can't really complain. And Devontae Parker did have his way with us, but I was pretty much expecting that. Trey Flowers looked bad again, and at this point I can only expect that. But Shaq Griffin played a solid game. Ryan Neal made some plays. I thought Bobby Wagner had a good game. I thought KJ Wright, outside of dropping 3 interceptions, which is something that I really hope he can clean up at some point. I thought KJ was involved. You know, he eats up those screen passes like nobody's business. He is the screen whisperer, and without some of the big plays he made on those screen passes, we may have not won this game. So this defense is still a little frustrating. We had the opportunity to really put our foot on the Dolphins' throat. We didn't do it. We kept giving them enough yards to kick field goals, and then even at the end of the game, we have an opportunity to force a turnover or a fourth down failure and seal the game, and Miami just marches right down the field. It is frustrating to watch. I get it, but this was a step in the right direction for me. Dolphins made some plays as I thought they would, but we saw a defense today that gave up 15 points until the point of the game where it's kind of garbage time. So step in the right direction for those guys. I want to give a shout out to guys like Alton Robinson and Shaquem Griffin, who didn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet today, but I think they had pressure on some key plays. Benson Mayowa, same as well. He didn't get a sack, but I thought his pressure and his tipped pass forced the interception that Ryan Neal got. I think the defense took some steps in the right direction today. It's not where we want it to be, not at all. And I'll say this, the offense, which I expected to explode today, did not. So we needed that defense today. So that brings us to the offense. And I don't want to get down on anything in particular because there were a few things in this game that just plain went wrong. And they all added up to a somewhat disappointing 31-point game. And again, we can be grateful that we have an offense so good they can be disappointing and still put up 31 points on the road in extreme heat. But where to start? Wilson finally had a couple bad plays. Wilson, I think you can make a pretty good argument that he has not had any really bad plays before today. But today, he threw the pick in the end zone. It was a bad throw. Should have just led DK more or thrown it away and taken the field goal, as much as I hate to take the field goal. There were a couple plays where I felt like he didn't feel the pressure and just took a sack when he could have at least tried to get out of the pocket. One of them was a fourth down play. I understand you can't throw it away there, but Wilson finally had a couple bad plays, but it's not like this game being close was on him. He still threw for 360 and 2 touchdowns. So, I'm not criticizing Wilson, but he did finally have a couple of bad plays. It took a month, guys. It took a month for Wilson to have some truly bad plays as quarterback. That's incredible, guys. I thought the offensive line was good until Cedric O came in for Shell, and maybe we need to say some apologies to Brandon Shell. I don't know, because however little you think of Brandon Shell, friggin' Cedric, oh my God, getting completely blown by on fourth down. It's it's not good, and yeah, I may have to be saying some apologies to Brandon Shell because he was better than that. That's for sure. Brandon Shell would probably not have gotten blown by like he was a statue, like Cedric O did on that play. And I think Jamarco Jones came in for a few plays for it might have been Damian Lewis. I did notice the offensive line sagged a little bit at that point, but when those guys got back in, I felt like things were definitively better. And generally speaking, when Wilson had time, he was completely on point. So the one rough stretch for Wilson came when he was actually getting pressured. If we can keep Wilson clean, he's still basically dealing perfect. Carson went out for a little bit today. I thought he was done for. I thought he was done for the week, probably done for next week, probably done through the bye week, but somehow, someway, he keeps ticking. He got back in there, and he made plays out there today. Great game from him. 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on 19 touches. So I'm not putting anything on Carson. I think he did everything he could, and he did way more than I expected, given that I thought he was done after the second quarter. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, it's not fun to say negative things about these guys, but my God, guys. Those drops in the first half killed 2 promising drives. DK with the drop on 3rd and long that would have converted and kept the chains moving, gotten us in field goal range. Lockett with the drop on 2nd down that led to a punt, or excuse me, a long field goal that we made. And by the way, I want to say the special teams continues to kick ass today, kick ass this season. The only bad play on special teams today, and really the only bad special teams play all season, was the kickoff where they squibbed it and Homer got tackled at the 11. Other than that, the special teams has been clean as a whistle. And after years of watching this special teams unit kind of suck, I'm pretty grateful for it. So I'm just realizing, by the way, that above my head it still says game preview. This is the game review in case somebody is somehow confused about that. So yeah, Metcalf, Lockett, they played fine, especially Metcalf, actually. I want to say Metcalf looked like he was going to have the best game of his career, and then things slowed down a little bit midway through, but the drop, that was not fun. Lockett, the drop was shocking, and I mean, those are points on the board that could have made this game a blowout early on. If we catch those passes, if those guys bring in those balls, this game is not competitive down the stretch in all likelihood. This game is probably a runaway blowout. But not criticizing them, but pointing it out. Play calling. I'm going to say more on Tuesday when I go into the situational play calling of the Seahawks, but guys, Travis Homer cannot get the ball on handoffs anymore. I know he caught a touchdown today, and good for him. Great play by Travis Homer to bring in that touchdown, but This is getting ridiculous, guys. How many times do we have to give the ball to Homer and watch that drive stall before we realize, hey, we shouldn't be giving the ball to Travis Homer anymore? He had 3 drives today where him getting the ball signaled bad things happening. It puts us in 2nd and long or 3rd and long. One time he got the ball on a 3rd and 24, which is just incredibly aggravating to me, but at this point I almost expect it. But Travis Homer needs to not get the ball anymore on handoffs ever. Why is he still getting the ball on handoffs? How many times does he have to not do anything of import before we realize that giving the ball to Homer just kills drives? He killed at least 2 drives, maybe 3 drives today by getting the ball on an early down. I don't know what it's going to take to finally get us out of that. DJ Dallas played a little bit down the stretch because we had no Carlos Hyde. I saw some decent things from him. He had a great first down catch late in the game to keep the touchdown drive alive to David Moore, which was a crucial play. I did not want to end up in 3rd and short. Who the hell knows what happens at that point? But DJ, it is your time to shine. Get Travis Homer the heck out of there. And yeah, that's basically my main hang up with the play calling right now. Do not give the ball to Travis Homer anymore. I'm sure Travis Homer's a good kid. I'm sure he's a great pass blocker. In fact, there were a couple plays today where I thought he did a great job in pass protection, but when the ball touches his hands, bad things keep happening. If you're going to get him the ball, let it be in the passing game. That's where his skill set might actually produce something. Other than that, though, there are some frustrations with this offense after a 31-point game, which, again, credit to them for being able to still put up 31 points. David Moore, awesome game from him. David Moore is protecting that third receiver spot until Josh Gordon gets back. Freddie Swain is coming for it. David Moore's not giving it up. Greg Olsen, I thought he played a big game. Not huge numbers, but 5 catches. A lot of them were big catches to move the chains. Freddie Swain, I love that we're actually scheming plays for Freddie Swain to get the ball, and he's doing good things with them. Disley starts to look a little more healthy every game. He brought in a couple passes today. Most of the time, the offensive line was giving Wilson enough time to make big plays down the field, which he did. I think that, and, well, okay. I'll give the offensive coaching staff of this team and coaching staff in general a lot of credit for this one thing. That pre-halftime sequence was beautiful, and previous Seahawks teams would never have done that. So I want to give them credit for that. That was 7 points that we took that nobody would have been shocked if we just decided we didn't feel like going forward for it. So huge ups to the coaching staff for doing that. That makes up for some of the mistakes later, which we needed to win this game. But I'm telling you, I'm going to say it. This offense cannot be affording to waste possessions on running plays to Travis Homer. We got lucky today. We were playing a not very good offense. We got lucky today. We were not playing a good enough offense to finish those drives. And credit to our defense for making those touchdowns not happen. But we cannot be wasting possessions by giving the ball to Travis Homer and putting us in bad situations. So that's the one thing I'm really looking forward for going forward. If we must run the ball on early downs, which I know you have to do sometimes, it should not be to Travis Homer. He's killing us out there. Other than that, I'm good today, guys. The team played well, not great. The team did what they had to do. The reasons why this game were close were a team effort between a bunch of different things not going exactly according to plan. By the way, can we get an ejection on a Dolphins player for hitting Chris Carson in the head? My God, if you're going to kick DeQuandre Diggs out of the game for what he did to N'Keal Harry or whatever, then can we get a freaking call on Carson getting rammed in the helmet and knocked out? I don't know if we win this game if Carson doesn't come back in too. So that was a big one potentially. So NFL, get your stuff straight on that. I don't like seeing that. All right, guys. I'll go live a little later. That's really all I can say for this one. It was a pretty good game, not a great game. I think both sides of the ball contributed to why this game was close, but ultimately they both made plays and got this dub. All right. Peace out, Go Hawks. See you guys in stream later.